Hey, Jenna, if you've been looking through some of my critiques, you'll notice that I'm doing something over and over again. I'm really trying to get students to think about every mark on the paper, on the page, every design element, every typographic element, every color element, everything should have a conceptual reason for being there. And that's really important. Not only do we look at conceptual meanings as they tie to your concept development and also look at the consistency of the visual attributes in terms of determining what is appropriate to be placed in a composition. We also want to look at the connotation of the placement of those elements. Now, I'm going to bring up a point here, and I want you to kind of wrap your head around. Don't think about it first. I mean, when I mention this, I want you to just think about it a little bit and see if it makes sense to you. All right. I think it's a good concept. I do. You're using visual substitution here, and you've created this silhouette. Now, the one thing I think that kind of points to negative or kind of questionable connotation here is this, is that when we look at Martin Luther King and his preachings and his writings and one thing that is really a commonality is that his preachings teach us that we're not to look at a man based on the color of his skin, but we're to look at a man based on the content of his heart. And I think that in a way that's a little antithetical because you've presented him here um, as a man of color. And so do you see what I'm getting at? I'm presenting Martin Luther King as a man of color. Of course he's a man of color, right? But his preachings and his teachings indicate that it's maybe we don't want to look at the color of a man's skin as much as we want to look at the content of his heart and his soul, right? So I'm wondering if this might be just a little antithetical to that premise. Do you see what I'm saying? Am I making sense? I know I'm getting deep here. I get that. And I'm doing that on purpose because I really want to reinforce this notion of really thinking things through all the way. So I think it's good visual substitution. You're showing excellent understanding of the principles that we've learned, but I'm just wondering about the concept. Think about it and let me know what your idea is on that, Jenna. I really, really would. I'm really interested to note your reactions on my comments in that regard. So let me know what you think there. All right, let's take a look. Typographically, I think are pretty good. There's a couple of areas I think that the kerning is definitely in need of some attention. Now, I think in a bold typeface like this, I think the best thing, and I'm going to do it right now, I'm going to squint my eyes and I'm going to look. And sometimes when you squint your eyes, you can see spaces that you wouldn't otherwise see. So for example, this space right here, this almost looks like Luth and then space ER. So it almost looks like Luther instead of Luther, right? Remember all of the rules that we went through during the first 2 weeks of class. Another really great tip in kerning. You're gonna love this one, Jenna. This works so well. Print your piece out. Make sure you use black and white on quick draft so that you don't suck up all the ink in your printer. Print the piece out and or put it on your screen and rotate it upside down, rotate it sideways, look at it, rotate it upside down, look at it, and look for unusual spaces. It's a great tip, and that's why it's one of the reasons why I consider myself to be pretty much an expert in perfecting kerning. Is because I examine my work upside down and sideways. I know it sounds crazy, but it works like a charm. You'll notice little gaps and spaces that you wouldn't otherwise notice. Okay, paving the path to equality. I think we've got a good combination of typefaces here. This this is a bold, almost aggressive um, a presentation here, which is okay, And then paving the path is a little bit more refined in terms of giving us some kind of organic curves. So I love the contrast there. One thing I'm really, really super interested in is your choice of color, the blue and the red. And then the black. So I'd like to hear your comments on that. I know we were talking about this over in the discussion board, but I didn't see your post there yet. That's why I'm asking. So, okay, Jenna, good start. Good start. As I said, I'm really interested in your comments. So let me know what you think on those thoughts. Thanks, Jenna.